it seems to be okay. Let's take a look. Yes, so people are actually able to hear me right now, so let's take a look. Yeah, so we are online. Perfect. That sounds great. I'm glad we are. So thank you very much for joining me right now on this live stream. And what I would like to do before is to take a look if it actually went well by taking, yes, we are live right now. So that is absolutely incredible. That's good to know. Let's take a look as well at this over here. Oh my God, it's, sorry guys, I'm not sure why it doesn't want to work right now. I think it is going well. So if you allow me, I will be tweeting this before we are live right now, just to take a look if other people would like to. And let's take a look at the Bitcoin price action. So good morning, Daniel. I'm very happy you are here right now. And I would like to discuss Bitcoin for sure right now, right away, to take a look at what the overall market could expect during the upcoming hours. So you can see we opened up the Bitcoin compared to USD on the 4-hourly time frame, and immediately what we're seeing is something of utmost importance. What is going on? We are experiencing this bearish divergence on the Bitcoin chart. We are creating this higher high. On the RSI, we are creating a for sure lower high, and on the money flow index we are as well creating this lower high. Therefore, you can clearly see that we are right now experiencing this bearish divergence, and we could perhaps see right now a decline in Bitcoin's price action. So that is something of absolute importance during the upcoming hours. You have to take this into consideration, that this bearish divergence might play itself out. So therefore, please be careful right now with placing a long position. And as well, I'm seeing that there are more people joining the live stream. Hi SR90, good morning. And as well, Ilya Epping, goedemorgen as well to you. So let's take a look at a few things that are actually of utmost importance right now, what I think are very good to know. So for sure, I would like to start by showing you my Fibonacci. My Fibonacci is placed from the previous all-time high all the way towards the low of 2021 at this point in time, at approximately the 22 of June. And therefore we can see what we are expecting after we break this level at 57,229 US dollar. Clearly we are right now trading underneath this level. And why is this level of utmost importance? It's because if we break out above this level, the next target is going to be our previous all-time high at $990. Why is this of utmost importance? It's for sure due to the fact that if we are breaking this trend, we are going to see a major pump towards the upside. But before discussing this, I would like to actually take a look at the daily time frame, and I would like to take a look as well at something I think is absolutely important, and that is the 200-day moving average. Right now it's the 9-day moving average, but I would like to change this by placing the 200-day moving average instead. So absolutely important to me is this over here. So on the daily time frame, you can clearly see that we are right now approximately 25% above the 200-day moving average. So let's take a look at previous data and why I personally think that it is very likely that we are going to expect a further move towards the downside. It's due to the fact that if we take a look at, for example, the previous uptrend, and as well, good afternoon for George Tai, and I'm very glad you joined us from Kuala Lumpur. So if we take a look at Bitcoin, at this point in time, it was 186% above the 200-day moving average, but clearly at this point in time, 94%. So what does this actually mean? What I'm trying to say over here is that we still have a long way to go. Bitcoin is right now not overextended if you compare it to previous data, compared to the 200-day moving average as well. At this point in time, you could clearly see that if we go all the way, it was 170% above 200-day moving average. Therefore, Bitcoin right now, for me personally, still has a long run up to go before we are going to expect a major decline or a major, let's say, movement towards the downside of approximately perhaps 30%. Or if we take a look at this data over here, a movement of, for example, 21% towards the downside. So right now Bitcoin is looking relatively healthy compared to the 200-day moving average. If we take a look at the 4-hourly time frame, it looks a little bit different. If we take a look at, for example, the previous uptrend as well, you could clearly see that at this point in time we were above the 200-day moving average a little bit, well, let's say 60% above the 200-day moving average as well. If we take a look at this point in time on the 20th of February, we were also, let's take a quick look, let's measure this correctly, 45%. And therefore what I would like to say is actually that the confirmed trend is that if we are 50% above the 200-day moving average, we are very likely to expect trend reversal or a period of downward momentum afterwards. Right now we are only 21% or 22% above the 200-day moving average. Therefore I'm not concerned that we are going to expect a major decline. What I personally think is that we are going to experience just a minor decline during the upcoming hours due to the bearish divergence that I just showed you on the Bitcoin chart, forming that higher high on the chart and that lower high on the RSI. As we discussed previously, you can clearly see a lower high being created as well on the RSI. Therefore a bearish divergence is confirmed. And what I think personally will occur right now is that we are going to see a retest of this area at $57,229, and we could perhaps see a rejection heading towards a period of accumulation above the 0.618 at $51,137. For sure, this all depends on how strong Bitcoin will be holding on, but what I must admit is that the bearish divergence might not go all the way towards the 0.618 due to the fact that if we take a look as well at something I think is very important, is this line over here. So you can clearly see we have a confirmed trend line on the upper part, and we are actually inside of this, I would call this a parallel channel, but unfortunately we do not have enough touch points on this upper ascending resistance. Therefore this is not a confirmed channel yet, but this is a confirmed ascending support line underneath us. Therefore if we are going to see right now a moment of decline, I would personally say that we are going to hold strong on top of this ascending support. But if we are not able to hold strong on top of it, we might perhaps see that further decline heading all the way towards the 0.618 level, and that is something that would concern me due to the fact that we would like to see further growth, and I think personally that is actually not something we are going to see occur right away. As well, let's discuss the MACD on the 4-hourly time frame. So if we take a look at the MACD on the 4-hourly time frame, clearly it's looking very bullish. We are seeing a crossover almost inevitable on the 4-hourly time frame. On the 1-hourly time frame, unfortunately, we are already losing momentum towards the upside. We are clearly seeing the momentum is losing strength, and therefore a crossover might perhaps occur during the upcoming hours. As well, on the 2-hourly time frame as well, it wasn't major momentum towards the upside either, but we are as well losing momentum strength towards the upside. Therefore it could perhaps mean that we are going to see a crossover occur. 3-hourly time frame, the crossover just occurred. We are not experiencing any type of major momentum towards the upside, but the momentum is still holding strong. So perhaps this crossover is something you would like to take a look at very carefully, due to the fact that if we see this crossover occur, we might be able to break out towards the upside and as well see a moment of potentially breaking out above the 0.786, finding support on top of it for a while. But of course, the bearish divergence on the 4-hourly time frame is of utmost importance and something you would like to take into consideration right now. So perhaps we are going to experience this crossover just for a minor period of time, and afterwards we are going to see a further decline towards a retest of this ascending support. This being said, I would like to enable the EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly time frame. Clearly, why I think personally we are going to find we are going to be able to find support on top of this ascending support is due to the fact that we are also getting supported at this point in time by the EMA ribbon, and therefore it is very likely that we are going to retest this area and find support as well on top of this EMA ribbon. For everyone watching right now, do not forget that if you're liking the content so far, give me a thumbs up down below. It will be highly appreciated and you will be supporting the channel by doing so. As well, let's take a little bit of a further look at placing this as the 9-day moving average on the 4-hourly time frame. So if we take a look at the 9-day moving average, you can clearly see that the 9-day moving average is very good underneath us. This will serve as a level of support, but for sure we have to be careful right now due to the bearish divergence. I would like to take a look as well today at the 1-hourly time frame compared to Bitcoin. Why this is so important to me is because on the 1-hourly time frame you can clearly see that we are actually confirming this trend line. We have seen 3 touch points of this ascending resistance, and we have seen, well, multiple touch points of this ascending support line, confirming this parallel channel. So if we take a look at this parallel channel, I would actually like to perhaps place this a little bit differently by selecting the parallel channel tool to have a even better look at what we could perhaps expect if we see a breakdown occur or a breakout occur above it. So if we take a look over here, I will be actually selecting it from this point on. So just like that. Well, you can see clearly 3 touch points on this ascending resistance, and as well multiple touch points, several touch points on this ascending support. So if we're going to see a breakout or breakdown occur, we can expect a movement of approximately, let's take a quick look by measuring it from the touch point of this ascending support all the way towards the first touch point of the ascending resistance. So that is a 3.5% increase or decrease if we are going to see Bitcoin drop below this ascending support or above this ascending resistance. So what I think is very important right now is that we are experiencing that bearish divergence. And what is a 3% or 4%, let's say, drop going to look like? 1 second please. I will take the measurement and where we will be heading towards. I will start by placing the measurement underneath, assuming there's going to be a breakdown underneath this area. If we are not able to hold strong, we are going to see a decrease heading all the way towards the $52,767. So you can clearly see we have previous data at this point in time. We were able to hold strong at exact this point in time in the past at $2,877. So perhaps we are going to be able to hold strong on top of it, but for sure it could perhaps not happen, and we are going to see a even further decline, as I said previously, heading towards the 0.618 at $51,137. I personally think that is not something that will occur due to the fact that it's a major decline in Bitcoin's price action, but perhaps you never know, and we might see a further decline. So if we're going to see an increase in Bitcoin's price action and a breakout above this ascending resistance, we are going to head towards the $59,160. And what I personally think is very likely to occur if we see this scenario playing itself out is that we are going to see a major pump and afterwards a retest of the 0.786, finding support on top of it before being able to hold strong and go towards the upside further. So let's take a look at the comments. So Salaul is saying bullish on all cryptos. and we're looking great. What do you think? Well, for sure, I'm bullish right now on the overall market. We have a beautiful green Monday today, so I'm very pumped about that for sure. What I think is very important right now to know is, of course, that bearish divergence on the 4-hourly time frame on Bitcoin that could perhaps have a major influence on the overall market. Therefore, I would like to take a look as well at what we are spotting over here. Well, let's take a look at this point in time. From this point in time, we have experienced, let's take a quick look. Yeah, well, unfortunately, we are seeing as well here bearish divergence. You can clearly see we are creating here a higher high, and once more a higher high, so 3 higher highs in a row, and we are creating on the RSI a lower high, and a lower high, especially if you compare these two, this one over here with this one at this point in time. It's a lower high, but I think this won't have that much influence. We have to take a look at the last 2-3 times, and if we take a look at those, we are not seeing any type of major bullish bearish divergence right now. On the 4-hourly, yes, we are experiencing some bearish divergence, so please take that into consideration. So right now for Bitcoin, the next price target is going to be breaking out above or underneath this ascending support and resistance. And if we are heading towards the upside, we will be heading towards the 59,154. And if we are seeing a breakdown, we are going to head all the way towards the $52,697. So let's take a look at the comments, and let's take a look at the requests of the people watching. And do not forget, if you're liking the content, give me a thumbs up down below. It will be highly appreciated. So bullish on all cryptos. And so it says Solana crypto analysis. Yes, I would love to take a look at Solana. Let's take a look. USD. And as well BTC. So I think it went wrong. Yes, here we are. So if we take a look at Solana compared to Bitcoin, I would like to take a look at the daily chart for sure. Why I think this is important is to just take a look at the overall trend and what we could expect during the upcoming days as well. I will be removing this Fibonacci retracement. You can clearly see we have seen a major run up. Therefore, I would like to place a Fibonacci retracement from swing low towards swing high. Yes, and I would like to zoom into where we are currently at. So we are right now on top of the 0.5 on the Solana strength compared to Bitcoin chart, and for sure we are holding strong on top of this level. We have already seen previous daily candle on top of it, and as well this current candle while struggling to stay on top and being able to find support on top of the 0.5 compared to Bitcoin. So what is for me of utmost importance over here to expect a major increase in Solana's price action? Well, for sure, perhaps we are going to see once again a retest of this area by forming a descending triangle clearly, and perhaps going to see an increase afterwards. So this descending resistance is something you would like to consider, but you have to take into consideration that on the daily time frame we have only seen 2 touch points, so perhaps a third touch point might be inevitable before being able to break out above it and find support on top of it, seeing afterwards a major increase. So that is something that does look good. What I would like to discuss is not only the RSI. The RSI, we are not seeing any type of bullish or bearish divergences. We are clearly seeing a lower high on the chart and a lower high on the RSI, and we are also seeing a lower low on the chart and a lower low on the RSI. So therefore I'm not concerned at this point in time. If we take a look at the MACD, you can see that we are experiencing momentum towards the downside on the daily time frame, and this could perhaps still proceed during the upcoming days, and it is quite unlikely that we are actually going to see a further increase right now due to the fact that the momentum is not losing strength as we have seen previously during this point in time. So therefore right now a momentum increase is quite unlikely. Also, let's take a look at what I think is very important on the Bitcoin chart, and that is actually the 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average compared to Bitcoin looks good if you ask me. We are a little bit overextended on the Solana chart. Solana has been overextended previously, but what I personally think that it is very likely that we are going to see a period of accumulation, perhaps on top of the 0.5 or on top of the 0.618 compared to Bitcoin, heads just sideways for a while until the 200-day moving average reaches closer, as we saw previously occur. As also, we weren't trading sideways all the way towards a moment of, well, let's say, when we head near to the 200-day moving average, and afterwards we were able to see a major increase once more. So Solana compared to USD, let's take a look. Ilya Epping, Ethereum and Cardano, please. Yes, I will do just the Solana on compared to USD, and afterwards I will take a look at Ethereum, Cardano, and as well XRP. So Solana, you can clearly see daily time frame we are above the 200-day moving average. Solana has been above the 200-day moving average for quite a while. At this point in time, it was 338% above the 200-day moving average. And if we take a look at where we are currently at, we are right now above the 200-day moving average, approximately 133%. Therefore, I think it is likely that we are going to stay at the point in time where we are currently at. If we head towards the 4-hourly time frame, you can clearly see that the 200-day moving average is actually catching up towards the trend, and we are right now trading underneath the 200-day moving average. Therefore, we could expect a further decline on Solana just for a small tad, like we saw previously as well, before it's going to be able to see a major increase afterwards. So on the 4-hourly time frame, you can clearly see that we are creating this, well, I would say beautiful pattern right away. So if we take a look over here, well, it depends a little. I would like to take a look at actually at a bigger, well, yeah, no, doesn't matter. We are right now seeing this over here. So if we take a look, no, sorry for that. If we take a look at Solana, you could perhaps say this is a breakdown. No, it doesn't matter. We are right now, I thought we were seeing a triangle of some kind of source, but right now I think perhaps we are not going to take a look at it in that way. We are going to take a look a little bit differently. So if we take a look at Solana right now on this particular chart, you can clearly see that we have seen multiple touch points on top of this descending support line. We have already experienced multiple touch points, therefore it's a confirmed support line, and as well we have been able to find support on top of it once more. So therefore we are right now inside of the support line, and what you could perhaps start seeing over here is the creation of a falling wedge. Therefore afterwards we might expect a further increase in Solana's price action if we are able to see a retest afterwards as well, once more a retest on top of this descending support, and being able to break out either towards the upside, seeing a major increase, or towards the downside and seeing a further decrease on Solana's price action, what I think is very unlikely to do. If we take a look as well at the MACD, the MACD is looking good on the 4-hourly time frame. We are losing momentum towards the downside, and perhaps we are going to see right now a further increase in Solana's price action, what I think would be absolutely marvelous for sure for the overall trend. The EMA ribbon is right now acting as a level of, well, you can clearly see resistance on top of us. So this would be something you would like to take into consideration in the immediate short term. The EMA ribbon is above us, so this could be quite difficult to surpass. But if we see a crossover on the MACD, I think this won't be a problem at all, and that we will be able to find support on top of the EMA ribbon afterwards. So these are my thoughts on Solana. Lastly, I would like to discuss the money flow and the RSI. And if we take a look at the money flow and the RSI, let's see if we are spotting anything important. So no, we are not spotting anything important. You can clearly see we are right now creating a lower high, as well a lower high on the RSI, and we are as well creating a lower high on the chart. So everything looks actually quite good to me on the Solana price action, and therefore what I would like to say right now is that if we are taking a look at Solana right now, what we would like to see is actually a retest of this area, afterwards perhaps trading in between, and afterwards a breakout towards the upside, heading towards its previous high at 176 US dollar. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked content, do not forget to give me a thumbs up down below, and let's take a look at what the comments are saying. So SR90, entry for Ethereum and XRP please. When are we finished with Solana? We are finished with Solana right now. So Ethereum is the first thing I'm going to take a look at right now. So let's take a look at Ethereum. Just give me a small thought to just reconsider the drawings. Yes, that is exactly what I will be doing. I will be actually placing the Fibonacci retracement a little bit different. You can clearly see that we experienced this momentum towards the downside previously, and therefore this is a perfect place Fibonacci from swing high towards swing low, and right now we are seeing this increase in price on Ethereum. So we could clearly see on Bitcoin that we were seeing a bearish divergence getting created. That is something you have to take into consideration in all type of cryptocurrencies right now, so do not forget that. And as well, let's take a look at what we're currently seeing on on Ethereum. So if we take a look at Ethereum, we are seeing over here this structure. So we are seeing lower highs on the money flow and RSI, and as well we are right now seeing a lower high on the chart. So we saw previously this higher high on the chart, lower high on the RSI, lower high on the money flow, and right now we are seeing a lower high on the chart, and we are also seeing a lower high on the money flow and a lower high on the RSI. Therefore, this is not a bearish divergence. Yes, we are clearly not seeing that at all. What you can clearly see, what I think is very interesting, is that we are actually right over here at this point in time, we experienced a bullish divergence on Ethereum. So we were seeing a slightly higher low, and if we take a look at this point in time exactly, sorry for that, and if we take a look at this point in time on the 6th of October, we are experiencing a lower low on the money flow, and we are also experiencing a lower low on the RSI. This is a confirmed bullish divergence on Ethereum, and therefore I'm right now saying that we will perhaps experience this bullish divergence just for a small tad during the upcoming days as well, or well, actually during the upcoming hours for all of us, just to be clear. And let's take a look as well at the MACD. The MACD absolutely looking marvelous on the 4-hourly time frame. On the 1-hourly time frame, it's looking absolutely insane. We are not even experiencing a momentum towards the downside. Therefore, I am right now very pumped, and you can clearly see that we are right now expecting further movement towards the upside. And let's discuss as well what the possible scenarios are going to be for this trade. So it is looking good. I personally think that we are going to experience more momentum towards the upside right now. It is looking absolutely strong on Ethereum. And as well, lastly, I would like to take a look as well at the EMA ribbon. You can clearly see that the EMA ribbon clearly supported the trend. We went below the EMA ribbon, we recovered rather quickly, and right now we are once again at this point in time above the 0.618, and we are finding support on top of the EMA ribbon, actually something that I absolutely appreciate. So if we take a look at what the possible best entry is going to be for Ethereum and what the breakout is going to look like, I would like to take a look at the 1 hourly time frame, just to see what we are experiencing. So what I would personally say over here is that we are actually seeing on Ethereum something I think is very important. So if we take a look over here, we saw this fake out. Due to this fake out towards the downside, it is quite difficult to actually place a pattern like asymmetrical, descending, ascending triangle, falling wedge, broadening wedge, or anything else. The only thing that I would like to say is that we are going to perhaps see a inverse head and shoulders pattern taking itself place right now. So if we take a look at this over here, you can clearly see that we are creating this head we are seeing right now, and perhaps we are going to see a retest once more and creating this beautiful head and shoulders pattern. So you can clearly see this was a beautiful left shoulder. Afterwards we created a head, a further decline, and right now we could perhaps see, if we are going to see a retest of the 0.618 level and afterwards a recovery breaking out above the neckline of this pattern, and that would be this dotted line over here. If we are going to be able to break out after this decline retest of the 0.618, a breakout above this neckline, that would be absolutely amazing, due to the fact that we will see a exponential increase on Ethereum's price action. So that is one of the possibilities right now on Ethereum for the immediate short term, that we could perhaps see something like this taking place, and that would be heading all the way towards the 3,882 US dollars. So this is one of the possibilities on Ethereum right now in the immediate short term on the 1 hourly time frame. And let's take a look if this is actually possible to occur. So if we see the momentum towards the downside is actually right now, well, running out, we are clearly seeing that we perhaps might start losing strength, and that could mean that we are going to see this retest occur. It would actually be also quite likely to occur, due to the fact that we have already seen multiple green candles on the 1 hourly time frame. We have seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive candles in a row, and afterwards we saw 7, 8 green candles during the past 10 hours. Therefore, I think it is likely that we are going to expect a minor decline and afterwards a further increase. So for me right now on Ethereum, I personally think this pattern is quite likely to play itself out, and therefore the 0.618 at 3,500 US dollar is actually going to be a perfect entry for this pattern. Also, if you are right now actually waiting for a confirmed breakout, then you would have to wait until we are going to see a perfect breakout occur above this ascending resistance on top of us after the retest, due to the fact that afterwards we are going to see that major breakout towards the upside. So these are my thoughts on Ethereum and why I personally think this is very likely to occur. As well, I would like to just confirm this by taking a look as well at the RSI on the daily on the 1 hourly time frame, and you can clearly see we are creating a slightly higher low, as well as slightly higher low on the RSI. So that's looking very good. And if we are going to see right now a decline, it could be very likely that we are heading towards this area. It is also likely to occur due to the fact that we are right now on the upper part of the RSI. Perhaps a even smaller of an even further increase might perhaps be possible, but if this occurs, a further increase, we are going to see as well a further increase in Ethereum's price action, and therefore this pattern won't be playing itself out anymore. So for the immediate short term, this is the pattern that I personally would look at on Ethereum, due to the fact that I think it is likely that we are going to retest this area at 0.618 at $3,500. Please let me know in the comments down below if you agree, and as well I would highly appreciate if you could follow me on Twitter at Thorough Crypto, where you will be kept up to date about all upcoming developments in my YouTube channel. And as well, I would like to keep you up to date if we're going to trade something during this channel. So Ethereum right now looking strong. I personally think this could perhaps be a major leg towards the upside. On the immediate short term, a retest for me is very likely to occur, confirming this head and shoulder pattern. So let's take a look at, I thought Ilya Epping wanted me to take a look, yes, at Cardano. So Cardano, right now, let's take a look at Cardano. So Cardano, well guys, we have been discussing this breakout lately a lot on this channel, and we have seen as well this major symmetrical triangle breaking out towards the upside. We have seen this breakout occur, and we have right now seen a second retest of this symmetrical triangle. So what is actually going on, and what can we expect during the upcoming hours? So we have actually, it's quite, it didn't go as I personally thought it would have gone on this trade. We saw this breakout occur. We have seen a retest. After this retest, as I was, well, quite confident we were going to see that further increase. Unfortunately, during the weekend, we did not see major moves on Cardano, and we are right now seeing a further decline. We have seen a retest. What I think right now is absolutely good to know is that we are actually able to find support on top of this area, and therefore I am very glad that the previous descending resistance is right now serving as a descending support. But what are the key levels we have to take into consideration in the immediate short term? So yeah, I will be discussing XRP as well in a couple of minutes. So for all people who are watching right now, you can clearly see, well, this is not actually the perfect example. This is the perfect example. So you can see clearly we have this level over here, and you could perhaps even call this almost a descending parallel channel. We have seen that we are trading in between these levels, and right now for Cardano, it is actually very good if we would be able to break out above this descending resistance, due to the fact that afterwards I would be quite, well, let's say optimistic on the overall price action of Cardano and expecting a major leg. So I'm still inside of this trade. If you would like to know, I entered this trade at, let's say, $2.60 or yeah, 55, I thought. So $2.55 was at approximately this point in time I entered the trade, and well, I did not have that much leverage on it, so my stop loss is actually way further below, and I'm willing to accept that risk. I'm not saying it was a perfect entry. It was not a perfect entry. I expected things to go differently over here, but right now I did enter the trade once again, actually yesterday at this point in time at $2.17.3. So yes, at this point in time I entered the trade once more. I placed a long position because I am actually expecting that I can hold strong to this trade and hold this trade all the way towards new all-time highs, expecting that Cardano is going to head at least towards the $5 level, and therefore I entered this trades, and I'm willing to place my stop loss further below than I usually do, because I think this is the opportunity to take a chance to trade this all the way towards a new all-time high on Cardano, and therefore I'm right now willing to actually do this. So in the immediate short term, what is important for Cardano? Breaking out above this descending resistance for sure as well. Let's take a look at the MACD on the 4-hourly time frame, and afterwards I would like to discuss XRP. So the MACD is losing strength on the 4-hourly time frame. That for sure gives me confidence that we might perhaps be able to see a breakout occur above this descending resistance, a further increase heading towards the first target 0.3 2.82, Fibonacci at $2.30. Why is this level very important to me? Because if we are able to hold strong on top of it, we are going to head towards the $2.61 as our next target at 0.236 Fibonacci, and that is for sure a level I would personally like to be heading towards as well. This momentum is actually clearly losing strength on the 1 hourly time frame, losing strength as well, but that is not something that does concern me. If we are able to hold strong on top of this descending resistance, everything is fine, if you ask me, for so far right now. And on the 2 hourly time frame, a crossover might be inevitable if we are going to experience upward momentum during the upcoming hours. So I think Cardano is looking strong on the MACD for sure. If we take a look at the RSI, on the RSI, we are not spotting any type of bullish divergences. We are clearly forming a lower low on the RSI, and we are as well not seeing a higher low or a bearish divergence taking place. So for Cardano, overall looking good. If we stay on top of this descending previous resistance, finding support on top of this as we did right now, if we find support on top of this descending resistance, I think personally it's looking good for sure. This is what I wanted to discuss on Cardano, and yeah, what I talked before, if we're going to see actually this breakout taking place, the $2.61 area is going to be the next target. But as I discussed right now, just a couple of seconds ago, I'm personally expecting to hold on to this trade towards a new all-time high on Cardano. And yeah, well, let's take a look if that would be actually possible. I think it is very likely to occur. XRP. So XRP on the 4 hourly time frame, I would like to get started. Let's take a look at the EMA ribbon. The EMA ribbon clearly holding very strong on the XRP chart. We are seeing well, multiple touch points on the EMA ribbon at this point in time, holding strong on top of it. 8 touch points even further at the 0.5, holding strong on top of it. And right now we are trading where we're currently at $1.16. So XRP, what is going on, what could we expect, and where are we heading towards? So on XRP, what I personally think is quite good to know is to take a look at the MACD. The MACD is actually not looking rather optimistic in comparison to other cryptocurrencies. You can clearly see that we are right now expecting a crossover, or we are actually experiencing a crossover on the 4 hourly time frame. Therefore, it is likely that we are going to see momentum towards the downside getting created as well. Do not forget, keep it in mind that we spotted that bearish divergence on Bitcoin on the 4 hourly time frame. That is of utmost importance for the overall market. So do not forget that if you are right now entering a long position that we could expect during the upcoming hours, momentum towards the downside on all cryptocurrencies due to the fact that we are experiencing a bearish divergence on Bitcoin. Please keep that in mind. That is something you would like to reconsider if you are entering a long trade right now. As well, movement towards the downside, MACD is clearly losing strength, and we have seen a crossover. So let's take a look at how it does look like on the 3 hourly time frame. On the 3 hourly time frame, you can clearly see that we experienced momentum towards the downside, but it did not have a lot of influence. We experienced the crossover at this point in time, and we have seen afterwards only movement towards the upside. Therefore, it did not have a lot of influence, as I said previously as well. On the 1 hourly time frame, we are right now seeing something I do think is very good to know, a crossover as well, but we are experiencing over here upward momentum. So if this crossover is able to hold strong, we could perhaps see further increases. But right now, personally, I think a retest of the EMA ribbon on the 4 hourly time frame is actually rather likely to occur, and that would mean that we are going to see a retest of the 0.5 Fibonacci area at $1.1377. So $1.13 on top of the 0.5 Fibonacci is the target area. Let's take a look at the 1 hourly time frame on XRP and what we are seeing. So XRP 1 hourly time frame, what are we expecting over here? So we can clearly see this is important, and why I think this is very important is due to the fact that you can clearly see this. we have already seen 2 touch points of this descending resistance. Why is this important? Due to the fact that if we are going to see a 3rd touch point, we are going to make a confirmed trend line out of this, a confirmed descending resistance, and that could perhaps be a difficult point to break through towards the upside and expect a trend reversal taking place. So this is something you would like to monitor closely as well. The 0.5 has been a major level of support previously, and therefore we could perhaps trade in between these two just for a while, creating touch points on both sides and creating this descending triangle afterwards, expecting a movement towards the upside if we see a breakout above this descending resistance. So for XRP right now on the 4-hourly time frame, I personally think it is likely that we are going to see XRP head towards a retest of the 0.5 at $1.13. So tradable patterns on the 1-hourly time frame, well, that is something I personally think XRP does not look right now. We are not seeing a perfect example of a triangle or broadening wedge, falling wedge, parallel channel. We are not clearly seeing a tradable pattern, and therefore I'm right now personally waiting until we create one and see a further increase. As well, what I would like to admit is that I will be entering a long trade once we drop below the 0.5 Fibonacci. But if we are like just dipping below it, like we have seen before, once we see a candle head below it, like for example towards the $1.12, I will be entering my trade at this point in time, and afterwards expecting that the price is going to enter with a stop loss placed just a few cents below it, due to the fact that that would be like giving me opportunity to catch the wick of the candle as we saw previously as well occur. So XRP right now, I'm not expecting that we are going to see further increases, but let's take a look at the RSI. But because it's of utmost importance to just monitor the RSI always very closely. So if we take a look at the RSI, clearly we have been seeing lower high on the chart, as well higher low on the chart. So for sure RSI is looking healthy to me. What I think is important, oh, that wasn't my intention. What I think is important right now, sorry if the chart doesn't look good right now, but I would like to explain the RSI, is that we are on top of this 50 area. So we are on top of the 50%, therefore the overall market is in gain right now on the short term, and it is very likely that if we stay on top of this 50 area, we could perhaps see an increase afterwards on XRP. So if we are right now going to see a decline heading towards the 0.5, we could perhaps see a minor dip below this 50 area, afterwards increase, and if we stay in between this area, pump towards the upside would be absolutely likely afterwards. I would like to take a look at the comment section just for a second. Let's take a look. Dankjewel and Beituls Ukuls. Gracias. I will take my orders there. So de nada, and I really hope that we have a profitable trade over here. I will be updating you today for sure about XRP further on Twitter. So if you are not following me there yet, please do not forget to follow me at Thorough Crypto. It will be highly appreciated. And for the people who are watching right now, do not forget to give me a thumbs up down below. It will be highly appreciated. And if you would like to take a look, like me, to take a look at a cryptocurrency of your own choice, do not forget to place that as well over here. So, oh, perfect. Saul Isai already posted, how is Shiba Inu doing? So XRP right now, for me personally, I think it is likely that we're going to see a retest of this area as I discussed previously. And if we take a look at the daily time frame, it would be actually be quite good due to the fact that we would stay on top of the 0.5 for sure. That is not something that does concern me at all right now, due to the fact that if we stay on top of the 0.5, eventually we are going to see a further increase heading towards the $2.20 for sure. Compared to the 200-day moving average, that's the last thing I would like to discuss on XRP, just because I do like this cryptocurrency a lot. This is the 9-day moving average. That does not concern me right now, but the 200-day moving average, that is what I would like to take a look at. Clearly, we are not overextended compared to the 200-day moving average. The last time, once we saw a major decline, we were approximately, let's take a quick look, 55% above the 200-day moving average on the daily time frame. And if we take a look at even further in the past, once we saw a decline on the 200-day moving average, we were approximately 300% above 200-day moving average. Right now, if we measure this, we are just a few percentages above the 200-day moving average. I would say perhaps 15, or maybe not even 15. Well, yeah, 15, 16, and therefore this trend could continue way further until we might expect a trend reversal. So what do you think about Quant, and what do you think about Shiba? So let's take a look at Shiba compared to USD. Sorry. So yeah, let's take a look. Here we are. So Shiba Inu. I must admit, I've said this previously, I'm not a huge fan of cryptocurrencies such as Dogecoin, Shiba Inu. Why I'm not a big believer is due to the fact that they do not have a lot of, well, let's say, I personally think that they do not have, well, the things that I am searching for in a cryptocurrency, and I wouldn't invest in them because they are, for me personally, well, always overextended, and I too much driven by a community. I like community driven projects, but I think Shiba Inu and Dogecoin, well, they are just different to me. If you agree, you could leave it in the comments. If you do not agree, I would like to hear your opinion as well. So Shiba Inu right now, let's take a look at what we are currently seeing. So this is, for me right now, looking not as bad as I personally would thought it would be. Clearly, I would like to adjust this trend lines. Yes, perfect. So the trend lines looking very good. Shiba Inu, we have seen this major increase during the past couple of weeks, or well, let's say week during the last week, and right now we are seeing this trend line. This is a confirmed ascending support. We have seen 1, 2, 3 touch points, and we are right now seeing as well 1, 2, 3 touch points on this descending resistance. Therefore, right now this is a confirmed breakout towards the upside, and what I personally think is quite likely to occur on Shiba Inu is that we are going to expect a movement towards the upside. And where does that movement perhaps going to be heading towards? So if we take a look at Shiba, we might perhaps be heading towards a breakout all the way towards the zero, well, too much zeros over here, but it is a breakout that is, well, let's take a quick look, approximately 48%. So for sure, very healthy pull towards the upside. As well, just to be sure, let's take a look at the EMA ribbon. EMA ribbon on the 4-hourly time frame looking absolutely well for Shiba Inu right now. You could perhaps say that we are going to experience that major pump towards the upside for sure, due to the fact that we are seeing this crossover almost inevitable on the 4-hourly time frame. So the MACD is looking absolutely good. And if we take a look at something even more important, those are the money flow and the RSI. You can clearly see if this is a confirmed breakout and if we are not expecting any type of bullish or bearish divergences. So let's take a quick look on the chart. So the chart over here, money flow and RSI, I will make those a little bit smaller. Yeah, perfect. And let's take a quick look at the chart. What I think is important, we are clearly seeing lower highs on the chart, lower highs on the EMA ribbon, on the RSI and as well on the money flow, we are clearly seeing lower highs. Right now we are seeing a higher low at this point in time, lower. So wow, this is actually equal low. It's looking actually, to me right now, it's looking well. The only thing you would like to perhaps take into consideration is that we are above this 50 area on the RSI, and that we might perhaps see a major pump towards the upside. Could mean that we are heading above the dotted line on the RSI. Therefore, a trend reversal could be very likely, as we saw previously as well. A cure and a decline afterwards is, well, inevitable. So if we break out above this dotted line, we could perhaps see afterwards a decline on Shiba Inu's price action. Still, it does look very good right now. It still has a lot of space to grow even further. Therefore, I think perhaps this breakout towards this area of approximately 45% breakout is very likely to occur. But as I said previously, I'm not a huge fan of coins that do not have a lot of fundamental value. I do not think these coins have a lot of fundamental value. I think it is more, or even better, to invest in a type of cryptocurrency with a lot of fundamental value, because you will be eventually, in the long run, be able to gain even more profits if you hold them for a very long time. And even if you are not holding them for a bit, you can expect that it might not see a flash crash, what I personally think could be occurring on Shiba Inu if we continue with this major uptrend, due to the fact that it will be getting largely overextended and afterwards it will be a major drop. So this is my personal opinion, of course. If you do your own due diligence, do not forget to always keep that in mind, that we might perhaps see a overheated Shiba Inu during the upcoming days. As well, let's take a look at what we are seeing in the comment section. In the comment section, we are seeing as well, hi Tado, what do you think about Quant? Yes, I already saw that comment. And SR90 coaching, what do you think about Star Atlas? Star Atlas and Quant, those will be discussed right away. Before doing so, do not forget to hit that subscribe button underneath if you're not subscribed yet, and as well hit that like button if you're liking the content so far. And for the people who are watching and do not have a cryptocurrency purchasing account where you can be able to purchase all your cryptocurrencies, do not forget to use the link down below, where you will be able to support the channel, and you will be also able to trade and buy cryptocurrencies in general at Binance and as well at Bybit. So if you are right now interested, do not forget to use these links down below. You will be supporting the channel by doing so. So let's take a quick look over here at Quant. So Quant, this cryptocurrency price is $295 US dollars. And let's take a quick look at the overall. So overall, you can clearly see we have seen a major accumulation. It started in 2018. We did not see anything afterwards. We accumulated for a very long while, and right now we are seeing this exponential increase. So let's take a look at Quant on TradingView. Oh yes, this is by Bittrex. I wouldn't like to watch this. I would like to see this over here. So yeah, perfect. So this is Quant, and why we would like to take a look at Quant. It has been requested, and let's take at what we could perhaps expect. So right now I would like to place a swing low. I will be selecting this one at this 15th of August 2021 towards its swing high, and let's take a look at where we are currently at. So we are trading underneath the 0.5 Fibonacci at $309. I think perhaps on Quant, we have seen this major momentum towards the downside, and what does concern me right here, right away, is my personal opinion, of course, is that we are seeing this major descending resistance taking place. So that could perhaps lead to a quite a difficult move towards the upside, that could perhaps be a difficult level to break out above as well. Let's take a look at what we're seeing here, because we are experiencing as well a ascending support. The ascending support line unfortunately is not perfectly confirmed like I've drawn it over here, so I would like to draw it a little bit different because it can't be a confirmed trend line. If I select this point all the way towards where we are currently at, you can clearly see that we are creating this symmetrical triangle. So symmetrical triangle taking place on Quant, and what are the possibilities over here? So we have seen multiple touch points. Unfortunately over here we have seen not enough touch points on this descending resistance, because I won't be counting this touch points further in the past. I only do count this latest 2 touch points, so you would like to see a third touch point taking place before this trend line is actually confirmed of the symmetrical triangle, but it is a confirmed descending resistance due to the fact that we have seen it as a resistance previously. As well, where is this target going to head towards? If we are going to see a breakdown or breakout, the breakdown is going to look similar to this. So if we are going to see a breakdown, not being able to hold strong on top of this ascending resistance, we are going to head towards the 0.786 at $217. So that would mean that we are going to see a breakdown of approximately 23% on this cryptocurrency. But to be able to say which way we are going to head towards, I will be discussing that later on. Where are we going to head towards if we are going to see a breakout occur above this descending resistance as well? 22% increase towards the $377. Both scenarios, major movement, and that is what I would like to discuss right away, what we are expecting over here. So right now on the 4-hourly time frame, you can see we are seeing major momentum towards the downside. This momentum is right now not decreasing, and I would like to, it's really great to see these comments. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much for supporting the channel so much, and I really hope you enjoy the content always. Every time I try to, well, give you the best content as possible about the cryptocurrencies that I like to discuss. As well, heading into the Quant MACD, you can clearly see the crossover. We are expecting right now even more momentum towards the downside, so holding strong on top of this ascending support might perhaps be very difficult. So that is something you would like to take into consideration. On the daily time frame as well, well, it's losing strength. Yes, we have seen major momentum towards the downside. It's losing strength, but the crossover has not occurred yet, and I think perhaps it might not even occur right now due to the fact that it's not looking very strong right now for Quant on top of this ascending support. Take this into consideration so far. As well, let's take a look at the RSI. The RSI, we are clearly seeing a higher high on the chart. We are also experiencing a higher high on the RSI. Therefore, there is no bullish divergence being placed, and there are not any type of bearish divergences either. So the RSI is looking good so far. The only thing I must admit is not looking very great is that we are at the middle of the RSI, in the middle of the green area. Therefore, it is likely that if we are going to see a breakdown occur, we have still a lot of space to see a further decrease in price. And if we are going to see a breakout occur, there is as well a major space to see a major potential increase. Both scenarios, well, you can expect a major move towards the up or towards the downside. So if we are going to see right now a Quant movement taking place, it could be perhaps a very big one. So if we are going to see a breakout occur, well, this 22% target I think is rather unrealistic. Why I do personally think this is because if we are heading towards above the 0.382, you can clearly see that at this point in time, a lot of resistance and support taking place, and I think it is actually quite likely that we are going to just find support on top of it, or perhaps even getting rejected afterwards and heading towards the 0.5. It would be very healthy for the overall uptrend, so don't well, I wouldn't say it would be bad if we would see a retest and afterwards movement towards the downside, heading towards the 0.5 afterwards, because we would still see that higher low structure getting created if this occurred. If we are going to see a decline in price action, if we are going to see a breakdown, we are heading towards the 0.786. Why I think this is very likely: unfortunate, Quant does not have a lot of significant touch points in the past in between this range. So if we break underneath the 0.618, it is very likely that we are going to see a decline towards the 0.786 due to the fact that only at this point in time we saw one touch point, and perhaps if we are going to see a further decline, I think personally this area approximately around the $200 is going to hold strong and not anything in between, due to the fact that we do not have a lot of previous data at that point in time. So this was my quant analysis. I really hope you enjoyed it so far, and let's take a look at what all of you guys wanted me to take a look at. So I think SR90, you wanted me to discuss Star Atlas. So Star Atlas, let's take a look at it. So Star. Oh, it's just yeah, Atlas. Okay, perfect. If you ask me right now, Star Atlas, you could clearly see in the past major all-time high. All-time high was at approximately 26 cents. You are right now able to purchase this cryptocurrency at 0.09 cents. So it's still let's take a quick look at 250% increase. But I think there are other coins out there that could give you even higher returns for the upcoming months. So that is something I would like to say right away. I think there are coins even in the top 100 that could give you more higher returns than Star Atlas right away. That is something I would like to admit. So let's take a look at Star USD. Oh, that is super unfortunate. We are not able to see. Oh, sorry, that's my, yes. So yeah, Atlas USD, FTX, that is fine. So let's take a look at Star Atlas. Major pump. This is super unfortunate. We do only have like, this is all data. Is this 2018? No, this is 2021. It's quite unfortunate. We do not have a lot of data about this at all. This is also 2021, but okay, that is unfortunate. We do not have prior data. We only have, well, we have all data, but we do not have even further data in the past. So therefore, let's take a look at what it's currently look like. Quite unfortunate to see this occur right now. What you must take into consideration, that lots of times you could expect like a W structure creating itself in the long term. And let's say this was the small peak for the W. We could perhaps see a further decline and afterwards a further increase all the way towards, for sure, new all-time high. A structure like this is very likely to occur with this type of cryptocurrency, so that is something you would like to take into consideration. And I really like the facts here, guys. 1 million XRP is one Lambo. Well, XRP, for sure, in a few months' time, it won't be 1 million, but it will be like 1000 XRP, one Lambo. That is something I would like to, for sure, being discussed over here, because I think XRP will have exponential gains during the upcoming months, such as all type of cryptocurrencies for sure. But I'm a XRP fan right over here. And let's discuss Atlas. So Atlas, right away, 4-hourly time frame, major descending resistance. This descending resistance is right now being retested. So that is something I like to see, due to the fact that if we are right now going to break this trend, and we might trade in between these two levels for a while, in between the 0.5 and the 0.618, this will for sure mean that we're going to see afterwards a potential increase. So therefore, this is looking good so far. But let's take a look at a few other things. The EMA ribbon, unfortunately, as I personally already thought, is a level of resistance above us. So if we are going to see a breakout above this descending resistance, we would like to see as well a breakout actually above the 0.5, being able to find support on top of the EMA ribbon to confirm that we are going to see a major increase afterwards. If we are not able to, let's say, break out above the EMA ribbon, we might perhaps experience further momentum towards the downside. So the EMA ribbon, very important level of resistance above us right now on Atlas. As well, let's discuss the MACD. On the MACD, you can clearly see 4-hourly time frame crossover is almost inevitable. This looks absolutely good to me, due to the fact that we are breaking this long-term trend line, and that could perhaps mean that we are going to see a major increase afterwards. So Atlas looking good so far. On the 1-hourly time frame, unfortunately losing a little bit of strength, but this could just be temporarily, because if we see a crossover on the 4-hourly, this will for sure not have a lot of influence on the 1-hourly, will have a lot of influence, sorry, on the 1-hourly time frame. So 4-hourly time frame, that is something you would like to, well, monitor very closely right now. And on the 3-hourly time frame, clearly already seeing this crossover taking place. Therefore, if you ask me, it is looking very good. As well, guys, let's take a look at the RSI. So on the RSI, I must admit it's looking very well as well. We are not seeing any type of bullish or bearish divergences. This is absolutely looking marvelous. And let's take a quick look at something else. I would like to discuss just very shortly what this growth curve was previously on the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, you can see that we experienced this major move towards the downside during a couple of days. We saw a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row increase, and that increase was approximately, let's take a quick look, 70%. So for sure, very good increase on Atlas. What I must say, I think is absolutely marvelous to see, is that we clearly saw after the 6-day increase this doji candle getting created, and absolutely marvelous to see afterwards a perfect trend reversal taking place. Therefore, here, right over here, you can clearly see the importance of a doji candle. Once you see a doji candle, you can absolutely expect on the daily time frame that a trend reversal might take place, as we saw here on Atlas. I just wanted to show you this because I think this is this type of things, just I like to see this just happen like this. It just confirms a lot of theories about the candles and as well about the doji candle in general. So this happened after a this is unfortunate. The MACD isn't loading on the daily time frame, but what you can clearly see is that we are losing strength over here. So what I must say right away, if the 4-hourly crossover does not occur, it could perhaps mean that we are going to experience a crossover on the daily time frame of Atlas during the upcoming days or perhaps week. And if this crossover occurs, for sure even more downward momentum will occur afterwards. So very good to monitor closely. If you are right now thinking or wondering, should I purchase this cryptocurrency, or when should I purchase this cryptocurrency, I personally would purchase this if you break out once more above the EMA ribbon and find support on top of it, so perhaps above the 0.5 Fibonacci. That would be my personal target at $10 cents. Let's take a quick look at the comments so far, and I would like to pick one last cryptocurrency. So everyone, if you're watching the content, please give me a comment down below with the cryptocurrency that I should take a look at right now, right away. And otherwise I will be choosing a cryptocurrency of my own to discuss during this upcoming, let's say, next analysis during the upcoming minutes. So I already saw a comment of SR90 coaching. If you have time, can you look also at ADA pad? Yes, I will for sure take a look at it. So let's take a look. 427th position. Shiba Inu's pumping. Yes, we discussed Shiba Inu previously during this live stream, and we already discussed actually what I think is quite good to know is that we were discussing this breakout that is very likely to occur. It's going to be a 45% increase all the way towards a, let's take a look, somewhere here in between this range. Yeah, as I said previously, I would like to have more fundamental value in the cryptocurrencies I purchase. Therefore, I do not purchase Shiba Inu. But if you are willing to purchase Shiba Inu, please do your own due diligence very good before doing so. So ADA pad, 427th position on CoinMarketCap for sure. Clearly, you can see here, if we take out the overall trend, you are seeing that we are right now able to purchase, let's say, the average price. You can see that at this point in time, the price was $60 US. Afterwards, we saw an increase all the way towards the $80. Right now, 60% for 60 cents, or in between the 60 and 55 for a very long time. It accumulated for a long time in between the 65 and 55 cents. It went even towards the 70, and afterwards a major pump happened, occurred all the way towards the $1.11. Afterwards we saw this decline, and right now we are once more at the averages, at the average purchase price of this cryptocurrency at approximately, well, right now we are at 74 cents. So that is something you would like to take a look at. So I think personally, perhaps it is a better average to purchase at approximately 60 cents for this cryptocurrency, due to the fact that the previous data shows us that this is quite a good average. And once you head towards the 70 cents, you might perhaps not have that much, well, let's say, risk versus reward thought. So 60 is a major level of support overall, as you can clearly see over here. Let's take a quick look if we are able to oh, okay, ADA pad wrapped tether. This is going to be not as well, not a very good chart, I must admit. But this wrapped tether compared to ADA pad, guys, I must admit this is an awful chart. I'm quite well, I must say sorry for the inconvenience that the chart is not very good. I won't be able to give you my personal opinion on this because it's also wrapped tether compared to a pad, and I'm not very sure if we are going to see the best examples over here. So let's discuss this just for a while right now. What I think is important, I going on the 400 position. What I must say to all of you, if you are purchasing cryptocurrencies below the 100, do not forget something I think is of utmost importance. So please go always to CoinMarketCap, check out always their website, and on their website you can always take a look at, for example, let's take a quick look. Their token info is always very important, and as well, what I must admit is their white paper. So anywhere here, how it works, token info, futures, about us. So on about us, website, Twitter, well, they should have a white paper as well. Why is this so important to take a look at the token info and this type of info? It's because you want to purchase a cryptocurrency that you believe in and that you think that is going to be able to grow in the near future. So please, if you're purchasing a cryptocurrency that is not in the top 100 tokens, do not forget to do your due diligence very good by looking at websites and as well looking at their white paper and anything you can find about it, because you do not want to get wrecked. And I know I purchased this type of cryptocurrencies as well, so it's very fun to do. And what I must admit is if you do your due diligence good, most of the times you get a great reward as well. So that is something I appreciate a lot. So let's take a look at the comments one last time before ending this live stream. And what I'm seeing over here is from Machat Korosek. Thanks, I'm a Shiba holder for a few months now. So if you're holding Shiba for a few months, I think it has been a great purchase. What about UFO? Alu owns some gaming coins also. So UFO and Alu. Let's take a look at UFO. Yes, I must admit that I do not own like all type of crypto. I try to keep my portfolio not very broad. I only invest in 15 different type of cryptocurrencies. I think that is more than enough, and I like to keep it very simple to know where my my assets are actually at, because once I purchase a lot of different type of crypto, it's quite difficult to taking track of all of those. So that is what I personally do. I only invest in 15 different type of cryptocurrencies. So let's discuss this. This is a 2,890 rank cryptocurrency. Please do your due diligence over here as I talked previously, and let's take a look at what I'm seeing over here. So if we take a look at all time, this cryptocurrency started in 2021, and you can see that right now we are seeing major increases. We are right now, let's say, finding support on top of previous all-time highs. So that is good to see. You can clearly see support being found on top of previous high. What I must say is this coin is not going to be able to see on TradingView, so that is unfortunate. But this is not the average price for the coin. What the average price would be, if you ask me, is over here. You can see this was the average price. So in between here, on top here, that is the average as well. Here, these shoulders are also average. But right now, I think you are purchasing a little bit overextended. It could perhaps mean that we are going to see a small tad of a decrease. So being able to buy on top of these shoulders or on top of previous support and resistance further down would be, my personal opinion, a better opportunity to purchase this token. But that is for sure just what I personally think. Just to close this or end this live stream on a good note, I would like to take one last time a look at how, not Bitcoin, not Ethereum, but I would like to end with a cryptocurrency of my own choice. And which cryptocurrency it will be today is actually going to be Chainlink. Chainlink, I do appreciate Chainlink a lot. I think Chainlink has a lot of potential for the upcoming months and years as well. And let's take a look how Chainlink is performing right now. So if we take a look at Chainlink, clearly it's right now underneath the EMA ribbon, but it's seeing this V-shaped recovery. And what I think is very important is that if we hold strong on top of the EMA ribbon, we have been accumulating for quite a while in this area. So therefore, a major breakout is very likely to occur afterwards. What I would like to adjust as well over here is actually this Fibonacci retracement as well, due to the fact that it was drawn from its previous high towards swing low. But right now we have seen a previous high in the short term, and I think it is good to know this just for now, for the upcoming weeks. where we are heading towards and what the next levels of support and resistance are going to be. So we are trading right on top of the golden pocket entry. So that is absolutely marvelous to me. And why I think this is good to know is because if we hold strong on top of this, we are able to trade here in between. We are eventually going to see a major pump or either a major dump. So let's get started. Let's draw a few lines and let's take a look at what we could perhaps expect over here. So unfortunately, we are seeing this major crashes towards the downside. Therefore, it is very difficult to draw a well drawn trend line. Trend line that I would like to say is a confirmed trend line with not a lot of breakouts and stuff. So I would like to discuss this descending resistance. This descending resistance above us has seen multiple touch points, is a confirmed descending resistance on the 4-hourly time frame, and if we break out above it, we are going to clearly see a confirmed trend reversal. And at that point in time, I personally think that we are going to see an increase heading towards a retest or perhaps even a breakout above the 0.5 Fibonacci and being able to find support on top of the 28 US dollar. For sure, absolutely important for me what is Chainlink going to do so far, and if it's going to be able to find support on top of the EMA ribbon. Otherwise, a further decline is very likely to occur. Let's take a look at something I think could be very interesting on Chainlink, and that is actually the money flow and the RSI, due to the fact that we could perhaps see a type of bullish or bearish divergence taking place. Clearly, we are spotting a bearish divergence on the money flow index. So on the money flow index, you can see this lower highs getting created, higher highs getting created, my bad, higher highs getting created, lower highs getting created on the chart. Higher high on the money flow, lower high on the chart. Clearly a bearish divergence. Fortunately, we are not seeing that trend occur on the RSI. On the RSI, it's looking actually rather good. We are not seeing any type of major bearish or bullish divergences, so that is looking great for sure. Right over here, we are, this looks good for me as well. You could actually say that we experienced already this bearish divergence due to the fact that we have seen a decline already occur of almost 7%, and afterwards we saw an increase. But right now that increase could perhaps be this minor higher high, lower high structure on the chart, but I wouldn't say that is a bullish divergence. That is way too similar on the money flow. And on the RSI, you can clearly see that it's actually confirming the trend on the chart. So the RSI and money flow are looking good. If I enable just the RSI is still inside of that 50 area or below the 50, so therefore there's enough space towards the upside or either towards the downside if we are going to see a major increase or decrease in Chainlink's price action. As well, let's take a look at a few more things by selecting as well the EMA ribbon. The EMA ribbon clearly losing strength on the 4-hourly time frame. This could perhaps mean that we are going to see a crossover taking place and afterwards a major movement towards the upside. That would be absolutely marvelous due to the fact that we have seen this major downward momentum for quite a while already, and I think personally Chainlink has a lot of potential and it will show us that for sure during the upcoming months. Unfortunately, the movement towards the upside has been great for sure during the past couple of weeks, but we have been heading further down. And what I think is important is that we are not going to experience a crossover on the 4-hourly time frame. Therefore, on the daily time frame. Therefore, it is very important to see this crossover for sure occur on the 4-hourly time frame. If we take a look at the 1-hourly time frame, the crossover already occurred. We are losing momentum right now, but that is also due to the fact that we are seeing the EMA ribbon on the daily time frame, on the 1-hourly time frame for sure, serving as resistance on top. So perhaps right now we would like to see further increase because otherwise we might start seeing decrease, and that would be very bad for the overall chain link trend. But I'm a personal huge fan of this cryptocurrency, and I personally think that we will see major returns out of it. Well, not such as Cardano or XRP, but I still think it's a very profitable cryptocurrency overall. This was the live stream so far. Please let me know if you enjoyed the content. Leave a comment behind. I really appreciate you guys being here during the live stream, and I really hope to see you back tomorrow, where I will be starting a live stream once again around 11. For all of you who aren't following me on Twitter yet, don't forget to follow me at Thorough Crypto. You will be kept up to date about all upcoming developments. So thank you very much, all of you. I really enjoyed you being here, and have a nice day. So bye bye.